another episode, the final episode of the Film Gear series for the show Filmmaking and More. I'm your host, Juicy, so let's go ahead and get on into it. The show is about filmmaking, screenwriting, and music involved in the movie making process. So sit back and relax and enjoy the ride. In this episode, we're going to discuss the final step, distribution in the Film Gear series. I want to thank you for watching all of these, and I look forward to your comments and any interaction or subscription. Graciously, I want to thank you. So we're going to look at each step. But before we do that, make sure you like the video. Go ahead and share it and comment and let us know what you thought of this episode and what you think might make great content for future episodes. So I'm going to cover the different steps that I have down here, and I'm going to list them in different categories per se, but it's all under the distribution umbrella, and some of these are multiple things involved with that particular item. So the first thing is screenings, and these are any previous release screenings done by either the general audience or critics or whatever the case may be. And usually that's any time before the actual product is completed. So if they had to do any reshoots or redos or whatever, then they don't have to. They can go ahead and accommodate that. Then there's release dates, or I have a release date, and for international, of course, nationwide as well, could be different release dates depending on the actual theaters that you're releasing into, what other movies are playing at the time, or projected to be out coming soon. So you want to go ahead and make sure that you have that scheduled out for you know, because after that you're going to have different things that are going to be happening actually around that as well. So you're going to have, you know, theater contracts. You got to make sure that that's all prepared ahead of time, and so that there's no ifs, ands, or buts, or any kind of you know, infractions or whatever. And then you have press releases, and that's of course going to be prior to the release of the movie, and you're going to have to get that set up with whatever press situation you use, whatever platform, radio, TV, print, whatever the case may be, social media. And then interviews as well. So you have actors and directors and maybe some producers that are out there conducting interviews, and this is also prior to the movie to hype up the movie as well. So with all of the stuff, you have, you know, posters, you have the trailers, you have whatever the case may be. Those are all going to be part of your press pack, right? So, or packet. So the next list of items are the DVD and Blu-ray sales, any kind of streaming that you're going to provide this particular film on, and what kind of social media, YouTube, for example, you can upload to a channel there. You know, so I know that I'm sure that all those studios have their own YouTube channel that they release certain things on. I don't know necessarily about movies, but yeah, sure, why not? And then merchandise, of course, or merchandising, where you got, you know, lunch boxes, toys, whatever the case may be. If you were fortunate enough to have enough of a great product in the movie, and able to go ahead and extrapolate that out into actual, you know, a product, then that's great. That adds more clout to that particular thing. Look at Star Wars. I mean, they had run out of merchandise back in '77 when the original episode 4 was released, and they had done a ton of things, providing different products, you know, across many things. And then of course subsequent after that, you know, of course you got the Halloween costumes, or the costumes, you know, people are cosplaying all the time, and they don't just necessarily do that at a you know, cosplay convention. They'll do it wherever, and so yeah, so that also is included with the merchandising. So this is the final episode of the Film Gear series. I'm your host, Juicy, and I want to thank you for joining us for another Filmmaking and More episode. And I want to hear back from you. Let me know what you thought of the show, what you thought of me, and the way I presented my backgrounds, whatever the case may be. And I definitely want to hear from you. So if you did like this episode, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you know the next time I drop a video. We'd love to have you join the Filmmaking and More family. Go ahead and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The links are in the description box below. I want to thank you for supporting the channel because it provides Juicyfroot Productions the resource and access it needs to go ahead and keep bringing you content like this. From us here at Juicyfroot Productions and Robb Entertainment Corporation, this brings us to the end of another great episode of Filmmaking and More. I'm your host, Juicy, and I want to thank you for watching and have a great day.
Gotta take you by the hand, oh yeah, and lead you to that brother's love.